Hello, everybody. This is Gary. Today is Thursday, June 11th, 2020. It is 4:53 p.m. Eastern Standard Time in the United States and Rochester, New York. And I just wanted to do a quick update on how I'm coping with my schizophrenia. Um, I'm doing pretty well. I talked to my psychiatrist today in a telephone visit. Um, we did have one set up for my going in person today at 11 a.m. this morning, but the buses in Rochester are not running right, and I didn't want to take a taxi because that would be too expensive. So I asked my psychiatrist to give me a call for the appointment we had this morning, and he had no problem with that. He called me back, and we talked for maybe about 20 minutes, and this was the last time I'm going to be talking to this particular psychiatrist. I've worked with him for a year. He was a resident, and now he's moving on to the next phase of his uh, training as a psychiatrist. And I got a new psychiatrist. I haven't met them yet. Haven't even talked to them on the phone yet. But anyways, we talked today with my psychiatrist, and they continued the prescription for Klonopin. And again, I've said it before. I know Klonopin can be physically addictive and psychologically dependent on it. People can get psychologically dependent on it, and those are real dangers. And my psychiatrist only gives me 6 pills, half a milligram apiece for Klonopin for 2 weeks. So you're talking about 6 pills. If I divide that up evenly over 2 weeks, that's like 1 pill for every 2 to 3 days. So it's hard to get physically addicted to something that you're not taking every day. And it's also hard to get psychologically dependent on it when your supply of Klonopin is limited by the doctor who's prescribing it. It was a victory just for me to get on Klonopin, back on it, because they took it away from me sometime last year, saying that I was abusing it. And I think that's still their feeling, but uh, we discussed it, and it seems that Klonopin is a good way of keeping me out of the psychiatric emergency room, which I think is true. I don't take the Klonopin as the first way of dealing with anxiety. There's a lot of things I can do to deal with anxiety, like ride my bike, uh, go for a walk, listen to music, meditate. For me, meditation's a big thing. It's not a religious kind of meditation. It's just a Buddhist type of meditation to calm down my mind, um, as an adjunct to my regular therapy with the psychiatrist and the medications. Um, but so I'm not taking Klonopin every single day or even a couple of times a day. So it's very difficult for me to get psychologically dependent on it. I suppose people can buy Klonopin illegally in the streets. The problem with doing that is you don't know what you're getting, and it's a lot more expensive than getting it at a pharmacy. Um, my The price for my Klonopin prescription was $11, and with my insurance, I only had to pay 60 cents. So I mean, that's not bad. My insurance does cover it, which I was surprised because I didn't think I had Medicaid. And as far as I know, my Medicare doesn't cover drugs like Klonopin, Xanax, Ativan, Valium, Librium, and Ativan, and other drugs like that, the tranquilizers. But apparently, my Medicaid is still paying for Klonopin because they didn't charge me the full $11. Um, so I'm just getting ready to get a new psychiatrist and talk to him on the phone, set up an appointment, and just keeping myself out of the psychiatric emergency room. And I think what I was trying to say before was that the Klonopin is definitely keeping me out of the psychiatric emergency room. I haven't gone to the hospital in the past 2 weeks, but I've been back on Klonopin. Um, there was no point in asking my psychiatrist to increase the amount of Klonopin. if I make a request like that, then he's going to start to think that maybe I'm getting dependent on it or too addicted to it psychologically and physically. So I have to go along with keeping it at a half milligram at 6 pills every 2 weeks. So I don't know when I will be meeting in person or by telephone, for that matter, with my new psychiatrist. I do know my new psychiatrist's name, his first and last name, but right now that's all the information I have. I was told that my clinic was going to reach out to me to set up an appointment with my new psychiatrist, or maybe the attending physician first, who's in charge of all the residents, and then an appointment with my new resident psychiatrist. Um, if I have any issues that I have to deal with, like medications, um, there is someone on call covering my psychiatrist that just left for the rest of the month. So there's always going to be somebody I can contact if I need a refill for my prescriptions. If I need to talk to someone, there's always someone on staff at the clinic to help me out with that. And I have a patient portal website where I don't have to call my mental health clinic. I could send them messages um, via their website at the hospital that I go to, and they usually get back to me within 48 hours. If it's urgent, then I'll make a phone call. But if it's a question that can wait a while, I might ask it online by sending them a message, and then they get back to me either by messaging me or by telephone. Um, so I'm doing pretty good today. I did have to take a Klonopin today, half a milligram, because my mind was racing. I was sick to my stomach. I know all the signs that I have when I have anxiety problems. It's nausea, insomnia, uh, vomiting, pacing, racing heart, sweating, all those kinds of things. And this had been going on for 3 or 4 days. So I figured after 3 or 4 days of not sleeping, I was justified in taking a Klonopin today because that's what it's for. It's for emergencies. It's for when things get really bad. It's not my first line of defense for anxiety. Like I said before, I have other ways of dealing with anxiety other than just Klonopin. I also have a PRN for Haldol, which is an antipsychotic, and that I use for paranoia and hallucinations when they get really bad. Um, so that's all for now. I'm doing pretty well, I think, mental health wise. Um, I'm not going to talk about any politics or anything like that today. Like, comment, share, subscribe, press the notification bell, and if you really want to help out my channel, share my videos on social network sites like Facebook and Twitter.